A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant move that has sparked widespread debate, the Trump White House issued an executive order on Thursday evening mandating the cessation of all federal funding to the Public Broadcasting Service, PBS, and National Public Radio, NPR. The administration's rationale behind this decision is rooted in allegations that both organizations have engaged in biased and partisan news coverage. This executive order instructs the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, CPB, to halt direct funding to NPR and PBS to the maximum extent allowed by law. The CPB, which has been a critical source of funding for public broadcasting since its inception in 1967, is now at the center of a political storm. Under the CPB's governing statute, it is prohibited from contributing to or supporting any political party, a stipulation that the Trump administration claims has been violated through the funding of these media outlets. The executive order further argues that government funding for news media is not only outdated but also corrosive to the appearance of journalistic independence. According to the administration, the media landscape has evolved significantly since the CPB was established, becoming more abundant and diverse, thereby rendering federal funding unnecessary. The CPB is responsible for distributing funds to local public radio and television stations, which in turn pay licensing fees to air NPR and PBS programming. The Trump administration's order aims to instruct the CPB to terminate indirect funding of NPR and PBS by local stations utilizing CPB funds. This directive comes on the heels of a lawsuit filed by the CPB and three of its board members, Tom Rothman, Diane Kaplan, and Laura Ross, against the Trump administration. The lawsuit seeks to block an order that would remove the three board members, arguing that the CPB was designed as an independent agency to shield it from political influence. The board members contend that they cannot be affected or controlled by government actions, emphasizing their role in governing a private, nonprofit corporation that funds over 1,500 independent public television and radio stations across the country. The executive order has been met with mixed reactions, with many supporters of public broadcasting expressing concern over the potential impact on programming and journalistic integrity. NPR and PBS, which have long been targets for cuts by conservatives, receive a portion of their funding from the CPB. However, both organizations have diverse revenue streams, including foundation grants, advertising, and listener donations, which may mitigate the impact of losing federal support. The CPB is projected to receive $535 million in federal funds annually for the years 2025 and 2026, a significant portion of which supports NPR and PBS. According to reports, PBS and its member stations derive approximately 15% of their revenue from the CPB, while NPR stations receive around 10%. Notably, NPR itself only receives 1% directly from the CPB. Trump has previously voiced his desire to defund NPR and PBS, labeling them as horrible and completely biased platforms in a post on Truth Social. In his executive order, he asserted that Americans deserve fair, accurate, and unbiased news coverage if their tax dollars are being used to fund public broadcasting. The order directs the CPB to cancel existing funding to NPR and PBS and prohibits future funding. Additionally, it mandates all federal agencies to identify and terminate any taxpayer money allocated to public broadcasters. The order also tasks Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. with investigating whether NPR and PBS are adhering to the statutory mandate against discrimination in employment based on race, color, religion, national origin, or sex. The executive order is a continuation of Trump's broader agenda during his second term, which has been characterized by sweeping changes to federal policies, including immigration reforms and trade tariffs. As the political landscape continues to evolve, the implications of this executive order on public broadcasting and journalistic independence remain to be seen. The lawsuit filed by the CPB board members is set for a hearing on May 14th, which will further illuminate the ongoing battle over funding and the future of public media in the United States. As the nation watches closely, the debate over the role of government in funding public broadcasting is sure to intensify, raising critical questions about media independence and accountability in the current political climate. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.